I gave a Filipina money that is equal to her rent, but this is what she did with that money. Filipina, I have something that, especially the ladies, that because ladies work a lot in the Philippines, and the ladies, they think more about the family. But the problem is how they think about the family and how, if they got the money, what they use for the family. I know some expert here, those people like calling themselves expert in the Philippines. They're very proud with that name or with that title. They think like it's another title in this world. By the way, being expert or being whoever you are a human. Some of them use that word expert to differentiate themselves or to have another social class status in the Philippines, but the Filipino, they still are the Filipino. So, but what I want to say here, many experts have been also posting how Filipino can react in terms of Filipina, because many of them, they go there to marry Filipina ladies, and sometimes they do that out of emotions. But what they give the money there to Filipina, some Filipina, they use the money differently. This is what happened to me. I went in Legazpi to a place to have a massage. It's like at the corner somewhere. It's a massage on upstairs. It's not in the mall. It was close to the hotel where I was staying with. And then I decided to go to have a massage there. When I enter in the massage place, and it was expensive, it was 800 per 1 hour, the full body massage, which is a little bit expensive, because if you go in the mall, you can have it for 400, and some places you can have it for 300. And I'm talking about peso money. But if you convert the 800 to US dollars, so it's around probably 12 or $14, so around there. But you can't get that massage in the US for that cost. But in the Philippines, because of the labor and because of the life, how life is in terms of financial transaction, it might be a little bit high, and compared to other places where you can go in the Philippines. So the lady who came to do massage to me, I remember this lady was a small body, skinny, and I saw her. I was motivated. And while they're doing the intake, what I want, and they're preparing, I asked her, I said, how long have you been doing this? She said 1 year and a few months, if I remember well. And then I said, okay, and do you do this for living? And she said, yes. The owner of the massage is the one who was doing the intake. And the owner of the massage, she knew that I'm asking, and I didn't want to hide anything. And then I said to the lady, and I say, oh, okay, so you live by yourself? She said, no, I'm a single mother, and I live with my parents. And I say, okay, so do you rent the house or it's your own house? And she said that the house they are renting. And I asked how much you are renting the house. She told me the price. I'm not going to mention it here because I will tell you what happened later. And then I said, okay, so we went for the massage. She did a really good massage, very, very good massage for 1 hour. And the place is kind of a hidden place. I think to find the massage place, you need to Google, and that's the way I found it. Or you go to Facebook, you will find them. And I'm not going to say the name of that place, even though the experience was really good. But for the lady who did the massage was a little bit different. So I talked with them, and they were doing what they're supposed to do. and the experience was fabulous. Then I went, I said, I need to give a tip. And the tip I wanted to give, I give a tip equal to the rent that they're paying. And I asked before, you remember before I asked about the rent, I was saying, hey, how much is your rent? And she told me the rent that they're paying. And I felt I should give the money equal to that rent. So I pulled that money. And then I handed it. I asked the owner, and she's the manager there. I asked her and I say, can I tip her? And she said yes. She didn't know how much. Then I pulled the bills and I give. The manager was shocked. She was like shocked about that. And I was just looking to them because I like doing this. It's not the first time, and it wasn't the second, and it wasn't the 10th. Because I like doing this to support people just a little, and they can keep moving on. And I was saying that because she's the one who is taking care of the families. And if you know, the Filipina, when they're single mother living with a parent and they have a child, they become more responsible than being by themselves. Because the parent, they will take care of the grandchild if they're not there. She's not there or she's working. So everyone was shocked. And she was looking at me like saying, this is crazy. And I asked her, I said, have you ever had a tip like this? She said, no, ever. And I asked the owner of the massage place, I said, have you ever seen, she told me that she's been operating the massage over 2 years. And I asked her, have you ever had someone who will give a tip of that big? She said, no, she's never had someone to give a tip like that. And then I say, okay. So, and then I ask that girl, this is where things that now come. I asked that girl, what you gonna do with this money? You know what she said? She responded to me that, this money, I'm gonna take my family and my child to tip them, to treat them. You know that word, treat, in the Philippines is very, very common. And to me, I've been experiencing that term treating. Another way, sometimes many Filipinos, they waste money. Using the word treat, they waste money. Sometimes it can be emotional. I don't say that it's no good to treat the family or to have a family for a unique event or for something that they've never had before. But what I'm talking about here, it's what is the priority. She just told me that she's hardly working to get rent for the family. And adding on that, they need to get food too. And then now she's saying she's gonna take the money where to go to treat the family. And then I was curious. I said, where are you going to take them? She's saying that I would like to take my family to Jollibee. So for those of you who follow me and you're not in the Philippines, I know some of you who are in America, you go to Houston area or to Dallas, there is a restaurant called Jollibee. That restaurant is very popular in the Philippines, and actually it's derived from the Philippines. They have extensions or franchise in here in America and probably in other parts of the world. But they cook, like if you know the Louisiana Popeye type, they fry the chicken and they sell sandwich or, yeah, they will serve that. And in the Philippines, they will serve that with the rice because the rice is life. So what's happened for a Filipino or family, to go in Jollibee, it's not a must, it's a privilege. Especially when they get money, they feel like it's a souvenir. But my question is, how long that souvenir will last? They will go there, they will take some pictures and have the souvenir that they will do. But is it important while you need to pay for rent? That's the caveat there. That's the problem there. And I asked her and I said, so I understand that you're gonna take your family to go to treat them. But how about the rent? What if you take this money and you pay rent? Because it was in the middle of September, I remember that. And I said, no, not the middle of September, middle of March, because it was in March. That is in a big call in Legazpi City, in Albay. And I said, what if you take this money and you pay the rent in advance, so that you can have a peace of mind you've already paid in advance? You know what happened? I saw the change, the face of the manager, shocked. You know what shocked her? The advice I gave to her. Because she didn't think about it as well. What she saw that her employee is getting a great opportunity to take the family for a treat. What do you think about this? I can go over and over of this type of experience where emotional decision can overtake some rational decision, and you ended up by doing something that you don't really need as a priority. That's why I have a Filipino as well in a big call. He's a Filipino guy who is not in Nabua, in Goa, they call it Goa, and Camarines somewhere there. He's asking me for helping with the turf to help because they had a typhoon, and he has a bottle of liquor. He's drinking liquor, and they asking me that and sending me the pictures, which I saw. I saw that the house got destroyed, but yeah, that can be really ridiculous, and it can be very hard to understand sometimes these type of things, where someone is asking for support and is drinking alcohol. Or someone is working with a flip-flop, doesn't have a shoes, but every evening is drinking alcohol. Where someone is there suffering. The family to get the food, it's very hard. He's working, sweating, but he's drinking or smoking and doesn't care and doesn't even think about that. By the way, when you drink and you smoke like that, you will not think about getting the shoes, and you are always having these flip-flop that are old, or your family need rice, your kids, they need some protein, but you don't do that because of what? Because the alcohol and the cigarette have already damaged your thinking capacity. So you need to pay attention and think more of what is causing you not to think much rationally, and abandon that. So that's my experience. It's one of the experiences that I will not digest much, because I've been seeing that always in the Philippines when I'm traveling. And next time I'm gonna tell you on how there's some smart Filipina. I gave money to 2 Filipina. One did it successfully, and the other one, you know what she did? I will tell you next time. Ciao for now.